What's going on, world? You are now on the tube with Mang. If you're tuning in right now, you already know what I'm about to discuss. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So being married in the military, is it difficult or is it easy? For me, it's to each his own. That's how I feel about it. Being married, it depends on the individual. I think being married, a marriage is what you make it. Now we're talking about being married in the military. It's a lot that comes with that. So for me, I was married 8 years before joining the military, right? So I kind of had me and my wife. We weren't like newlyweds or anything like that. We knew each other. We knew each other ins and outs and all that type of things like that. So just to get into it, if you are thinking about getting married and you're about to join the military, hey, that's cool. If you are already in the military and you're thinking about getting married, you kind of know how the military already works. So I'm just gonna start off for those who are married and are about to join the military, or those who are in basic training, AIT, and they thinking about getting married when they complete AIT before they get to their first duty station, I guess. It's a lot that comes with being married in the military. So I'm gonna go off of my experience. I'm gonna talk about it. Like I said, I was married 8 years before joining the military. Didn't know what or how things were going to be being married in the military. The one biggest thing that stand out with the military is when you're married, when it comes to your pay, you get BAH with dependents. BAH is basic allowance for housing, right? So some people say BHA is basic housing allowance, or BAH. However, but that's what it's extra money that you get to cover your expenses as far as your rent, mortgage, if you have a mortgage, your bills, utility bills, water, power, gas, whatever you may be paying. If you decide to live on post, which is the military installation, if you live on post and you're married, then your BAH, you will not get that. So your BAH, whatever zip code that you'll be staying in, you get a certain amount, right? And like I said, that covers your rent, your power bill, and your water, whatever else that you may have to pay. But being that you're in the military, if you live on post, you get your BAH. Well, at least you'll see it on your pay stub. But the military will collect that money because you're living on the installation for free. So the military installation have housing, right? And it don't matter if you're in a 2-bedroom, if you're in a 3-bedroom, if you're in a 4-bedroom, even 5. They're gonna take your whole BAH, whatever that may be, for that zip code. So that zip code, meaning your BH can be 1100, it could be 1200, it could be 1500. In some cases, it could be 22, 24. It just depends on where you're located at, right? And so with that, if you live off post, so that means you get to manage that money how you want to manage it, And it's to rewind a little bit, like I said, coming in, you'll be getting paid with dependents, being that you're married. So your spouse is your dependent. Okay, so if you have kids, you can have 2, 3, 4 kids. You're not going to get more money because you have 2 kids or because you have 3 kids. You're not going to get more money. You're still going to get the same amount because your kids are your dependents also. So, the military you get paid with dependents. You know what I'm saying? So that money that you receive should take care of that. All right, on top of your paycheck that you get. Sit down with your spouse, discuss that beforehand. Y'all need to know if you're gonna live on post or if you're gonna live off post. I recommend living on post for your first experience, But you don't have to. That's just me. So you live on post, you get familiar with the installation and where you at and everything. And I think the flow is just a little bit easier, instead of having to look for a house and have to wait for that time to close and all that type of stuff. Just go ahead, get on the waiting list for on post housing and go that route, because your lease is probably going to be a year lease. And after that year lease, I think in some cases, in some installations, it turns to month to month. And if you want to get out that lease, you can get out that lease. If you plan on buying and you want to buy a house in that area. That being said, It's just talk, communicate, right? Have that discussion on whether y'all gonna live on post or you gonna live off post. Now, like I said, once you make that decision and you get on there, it's a lot of things that come with it. As the soldier, if you and your spouse is from the same area, right? If y'all from the same area, you know you're gonna be moving. You're going to a totally different place where your duty station is going to be, right? And in that case, you got to keep in mind that you're going to be uprooting your spouse. So your spouse is a lot of things that you got to take in consideration, right? So your spouse, her family, her friends, or he, you know, because it's a lot of male spouses. There's a lot of male spouses that are not in the military. You know, they married to the soldier, which is a female, and the female is in the military, right? So that's a lot, but it's a lot that comes with it, right? So you got to keep in mind that you're uprooting this person from their family and from what they know and from, you know, where they've been, you know, their whole life, right? So when you do that, when you go into your new duty station, y'all don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no family there. You don't have anybody. You know, a lot of people depends on, you know, their family when they're going through things, when things are hard and stuff like that. Especially if you have kids, you may be used to having your parents watching your kids, or your sister or your auntie. You know, you got that help. But when you're in the military and your person get out of basic training and get out of graduate AIT, and now they getting stationed somewhere, and now he got to move his family, and y'all there, you know, yes, everybody's excited and all that. And then once you get to your place, you're like, oh, wait a minute, we ain't got no help. Got to set this up, got to set child care up. You got to do all that. So all of the responsibilities and the things that you got to handle with your situation, you just got to make sure that you're handling them. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing, like I said, being married in the military or being married in the Army is just communication. Just to touch back on the base of that. People be uprooted, right? You don't have any friends, right? Your spouse may not have friends. When it comes to social life, right? The soldier, the person who's in the military, they're around adults on a day-to-day basis, right? On a day-to-day basis, they're around adults, so they get in that adult conversation whether they want it or whether they don't want it, right? Because you go to work and you have to work, so you're around other people, you're around the opposite sex, you're around the same sex, you just around people, right? And with that being said, your spouse is at the house. So whether your spouse has a job or she or he is a stay-at-home spouse, right? It could be a stay-at-home mom, could be a stay-at-home dad, and that's what they do. They run the household. The other thing that can take place is your spouse may have a job, right? They may work. They may have a job. Some spouses may work at home, you know, so they have the house. I mean, they work from home, then they're in the house. But with that being said, you just, as the soldier, you got to be considerate of your significant other, because in some cases we go home, we come home from work, and all of our energy has been taken away because we've been at work all day, and you're dealing with a lot of different type of energies when you're at work, right? It's a lot of different people and a lot of different personalities depending on the position that you're in. But you're dealing with a lot of different things when you come to work. And so then after work, you come home and your spouse, no telling what they got going on, right? Or what they've been through in the house, whether it's cleaning up, whether picking up the kids from the daycare, whether they had a bad day at work, you know, you don't know what they're going through. But in most cases, the spouse is going to try to have the house a peaceful house, or just try to have it set up so when you come home where it's comfortable, right, for you, so you can kick back and relax or whatever. But in most cases, the guys, talking for the guys, not everybody's like this, but you come home and you're tired. You want to get your shower, sit back. If you eat, you eat. If you don't eat, what? You going to sleep, or you just laid back, you're not doing anything. These are some of the things that can make the marriage difficult. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, you got to be considerate of your significant other feelings, right? Because here you are, you may make friends, right, at work, and then But your spouse, she don't have no friends. She ain't got nobody to talk to. Of course, she talking to family and whatever friends that she have back home. But where y'all at physically, she may not or he may not have any friends. And so you're at home. I mean, you're at work, and you didn't created friends. You didn't got to be cool. You know, you got cool with some people or whatever. And now you invite these people to the house, and you got to keep in mind, a lot of the soldiers, some of these soldiers are single. You're married. So you're inviting single soldiers to the house. They come to your house and they don't have no spouse. They don't have a spouse that can come in the house and your wife can be cool with, or husband can be cool with, you know. And in some cases, the people, you know, you make friends, you talk to married couples, or you talk to a married soldier, right? And you invite them to your house and they come, they bring in their spouse to your house. And it's not guaranteed that your spouse and his spouse or her spouse are gonna get along. You know what I mean? And so here you are again with your spouse is feeling alone because, you know, she don't have nobody to talk to. She's not having that adult interaction on a day-to-day. You know, she's not getting that, you know. So it's up to you to communicate with your spouse and just make sure they're okay and just make sure that they're comfortable. So like I said, it can be difficult, and at the same time it can be easy. It's just to each his own. You know what I mean? Like I said, a marriage is what you make it. So you know, you got to put communication in there. You have to communicate. You got to be a communicator, right? Your spouse will not feel like they're being left alone, or they're feeling like you don't care about them. And that's like the biggest thing, you know, because it'll look like you're being very selfish. You just care about yourself and stuff like that. So, you know, for me, being married how I was, you know, realizing, shoot, my wife don't have any friends, my wife don't have anybody to talk to and things of that nature. And then yes, me being married, I try to talk to married soldiers, you know. So if I invite somebody over, they're gonna bring their spouse, and hopefully my spouse and their spouse, you know, they get along, and then boom, there it is. That's a friendship that can start. For me, you know, I did that a couple of times, and yeah, my wife was able to talk and have friends and have that social life, you know. For me, my wife, she worked from home, right? So, and then we didn't really, when I joined, well, we did. I had 3 kids, you know, we had 3 kids with us, and we had high schoolers and 1 elementary school child. So it was a little okay, you know, for me. My wife, she worked from home, so we didn't have to worry about child care or anything like that. But to hit on child care, like if you're married, the military installations do have daycare, but I would recommend you to try to find somebody outside the installation who probably have their own little business, because it's probably gonna be cheaper. You know what I mean? Even though if you put your child in child care on post, you're not paying taxes or nothing like that. You know, all that is free. You know, you ain't paying taxes, but it may be a little cheaper because this stuff, child care and all that stuff, is expensive. So there's a lot of little things you got to communicate about, right? Like I said, your responsibilities, you just have to get that together, right? One big thing that the society like to say about don't get with a soldier, don't get with a military man, they cheat. Again, that's on the individual, right? If you marry an individual that's a womanizer, slick talker, just maybe a cheater, maybe a liar, all that type of thing, that's what's in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you join the military, boom, you're gonna be dealing with those same issues. Just because you join the military don't mean that stuff gonna change. You know what I'm saying? So but no, everybody that's in the military is not a cheater. Everybody that's in the military is not like unfaithful. You know what I mean? So and like I said, it's on the individual. You know what I mean? So just be mindful of who you get married to. You know what I mean? Because you might be marrying a person that's unfaithful. You might be marrying a person who is dishonest. You might be marrying a person who is unloyal. So, you know, you just, if everything is tight on that end, then y'all should be good. Because, the people that's in the military, man, we just regular people, bro. You sacrificing a lot when you come into the military. But as far as the human being, the person, we just regular people, man. We just regular people. So I don't think the stigma behind like all military men cheating and all this type of stuff, it's just on that individual. You're gonna be away from home, right? The person that's in the military gonna be away from home, and the spouse who's left back, yes, it's gonna be a lot of free time, a lot of time, downtime. So if your spouse is that unfaithful, unloyal person, then they gonna see the opportunity like, oh, okay, well, look, she ain't never gonna know, or he ain't never gonna know, and they gonna take that opportunity to cheat. But hopefully, that's not the case. Hopefully you with someone who's 10 toes down and keep it 100 with you, and you don't have to go through that. Y'all may go through other things, in your marriage, because I don't think there's no like perfect marriage. There's no, ain't nobody perfect in life. So you're gonna go through things, and when those things occur, you just got to be adult about it and talk about it and communicate those things and those feelings and all that stuff that come up. But yeah, that's like a big thing that, is something that you can control in a way. Not saying you can control a person, but it's just, you're a significant other. So, but for the ones who like in the military, and then you get married and you only been married like 2 months or 3 months, or your first month, you get to learn this person, you get to know this person. So that can be difficult, you know what I mean? Because when you're already in the military and you get married, it's that time. Your time is taken away. So, your time is so consumed. You're so consumed, you're so caught up in work. You know what I mean? Yes, we get a chance to take leave. You get what we call 4 days. Days you be off on the weekend. Friday, Monday, you be off. But I just don't think it's enough time, to be together and really learn the person. But that's an individual thing. You know what I mean? You may, depending on how you are, you may be able to learn your person in time. So I just recommend you to get married before joining the military, right? That's just me. I think you should get married before the military. But for the ones that's in the military, and in some cases you have military, the person that's in the military, they marry somebody else that's in the military. And so I don't touch on the dual military, where both of the people are in the military. I mean, that can be difficult, you know what I mean? So like I said, it's different. Yeah, like I say, it's just different scenarios, just different things, how stuff play out, you know what I mean? So I can see that being difficult. But some people, some dual military, it can be easy, you know what I mean? Because some of them may have the same MOS, some of them may, when I say MOS, that's the military occupational specialty. So that's their job, right? For those who don't know. But yeah, I can see that being difficult. I can see that being hard, right? Then especially you don't know this person, like y'all got married, you like this person, and you feeling that person, but now, boom, y'all come together. Now y'all living together. Now you learning how this person is. You learning how, their habits and different things of what they have. And then let's say y'all bump heads. It's just like, y'all bumping heads, right? But y'all both in the military, so that means when y'all away from the house, y'all doing work stuff. When y'all away from the house, you're around different people. You're around, if you're a male, you're around females in some cases. If you're a female, you're definitely around males. You know what I mean? And so that person could end up cheating, or that person could end up liking somebody else. It's just crazy when it comes to it. But I just, if you're 100 with yourself, and you're honest with yourself, and you're just try to be the best version of yourself, and you being just a good person in general, you're gonna be good to a person that you bring into your life, right? You're gonna make sure that person is good. So you're not gonna blindside that person. You're not gonna blindside them with anything. You're gonna keep it 100 with them. You're gonna talk to them. You're gonna let them know what's what. So this is just my take. I've been doing a lot of rambling, but hey, this is just my take on it, man. So if y'all have any other things that y'all want to add, or stuff y'all agree with or whatever, man, comment below. Leave a comment, drop a comment. I definitely respond to the comment. So yeah, this is just my take on it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all sitting down with me, watching my video, and getting my side of things, you know, of being married in the military. Like I said, for me, it's been both, right? It's been difficult and it's been easy, you know. so there you go. That's my answer for me and my experience and my marriage. It's been difficult and it's been easy, you know what I mean? And that's even with being married before the military, because you're coming in, you don't know what to expect. You don't know how things gonna be, you know. And you just gotta be on top of your responsibilities, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that you gotta dive into and you gotta figure out and you gotta learn, because people just don't tell you things, you know what I mean? That's just how it is. So make sure, you know, you asking questions when you coming in, you know, about dependents. Like, hey, I'm married, I got dependents. You let these people know. Let your supervisor know when you meet your supervisor. Hey, I'm married, I got kids, and such. I'm looking for a house. I'm not looking for a house. We are living on post. You know, it's a lot of things, but when you get to your duty station, your supervisors, they should be in your business, right? They should be nosy as hell, and they should find out these things. But it's make things a little smoother if you're open and letting them know your situation, right? Because they gonna have to know. They gonna need to know. So don't feel no type of way, you know, when you get in and you like have a person that's like, hey, your pay is good, right? You got a checkings account, right? This is good. You paying your bills. You got your driver's license. You got your insurance. You know what I mean? Like, they asking you all these questions, yeah, because these are things that you gotta handle as being a soldier. You know what I'm saying? This stuff gotta be intact and be in place. So again, if you want to drop any comments, if it's some things that I left out, maybe, you know, I probably am, because like I said, I'm just on here and I'm just, you know, talking about it, you know what I'm saying, what I think about it. So I probably didn't hit on some things, and I'm probably, when I look back and I'm editing this video, I'm probably like, damn, I should have said this, should have said that. But yeah, this is it, man, you know. So till next time, to the next video, hey, peace. Hey, I just want to say shout out to my wife. I want to tell her thank you. I appreciate you for everything that you have done for our family, right? Because my spouse, my wife, she, everywhere we've been, she done always made sure that our house was peaceful. Our house was clean. Everything just ran smoothly within the house. So shout out to you and the time that you put in with us, right? And this is even before the military, right? Before the military and even coming into the military, you've been great. You've been awesome. I just wanted to thank you.